Hey guys, what's going on? Today on my epic stuff, I'm going to show you a couple of things that I have being shipped off to some people that I just picked up in the store. You can't get everything around the world right now, and sometimes I pick stuff up for people and help them out if they're looking for something. So why don't we hit the intro and I'll show you a little bit about some of these hard to find in-store items that are just not around right now until shipping picks up.
Behold my stuff.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at is this grapnel launcher replica from Neca for the '89 Batman, possibly even for the new Keaton appearing in the Flash. We might see this gun again. This was a really iconic prop because before this occurred, Batman really just threw a batarang with a rope attached to it, Adam West style. We didn't really see a gas-powered or an air-powered gun. In the famous scene where Batman and Vicky Vale are escaping, he says, "See that thing on my belt? Grab it. Whatever you do, don't let go." And then she goes up and she told him that she weighed 108 my ass. All right, so she goes, flings up, and then later he goes, "You weigh a little more than 108. It was a really good line. It was a really good sequence. It added some levity into that very dark movie in a very Burton-esque way. And it sort of set the initial tone that if you were going to do a good superhero movie, you needed to have a balance of gritty realism, of brooding, but also some levity. And so DC has lost that, and I'm hoping they're returning to that with the Flash and things like that. They're starting to get back to it a little bit. But the Bat replica gun just recently got released, which is crazy when you think it came out in '89, or even be nice and say '90. Then, you know, because in '91 or '92 we got the sequel. So even if you say that that was the last time we saw this gun, I mean, it's 2021. We're 30 years later. So the fact that this is the first time we've seen it is kind of interesting. It's a 1-to-1 scale, and the box is very sexy, a very nice design. Neca always does good with their packaging. You know, you can't fault them for packaging. So we're going to open it up, take a look at it, and this will be heading out to a friend of mine who can't get this where he is. It's battery operated, and it comes with a few elements. So the first part is this gold-plated aspect, which I really like a lot. And it's got this attachment piece, this string you can see, and it just loads into the launcher. And then it has a release mechanism, and you launch it. It does require batteries, which we're not going to do. This is not mine, like I said, so I'm not going to totally screw with it. It's got a flip-down piece here, which is kind of cool. It gives it that gun look, so now you can grab it and have the gun look. It's got a button up here. It's got a button in here, so it's got dual functionality. One winds the thing up, one shoots the thing. It's very, very cool. The detail is really nice. It's got a nice flat black finish mixed with some gloss black finish. And then it also has some silver in there, which needs some black wash and stuff like that. But it's very, very Art Deco, which is, of course, what Batman really kind of looked like in that movie. It's multiple pieces. The barrel rolls here. So there's, I'm not really sure how that might function with the battery, but it's really cool looking. And, of course, it's designed to flip up, and this is supposed to attach to a belt. Now, it doesn't have a belt clip on it, but in theory, you could use this aspect and slip it over a belt. So if I just do it on my shirt here really quick, kind of show you, you could kind of give it that situation. So if you're at a Comic-Con or something, you can have it on your belt. Otherwise, I would recommend probably attaching a belt clip to this section right here. And then you could just snap that on and then flip this down and still have it. So, and even if you disable the flip down mechanism, you could still hold it without the flip. So this would work really well at a con. It is plastic, and it does have a launching capability, so they may not let you in with it, but either way, it'll make a great photo shoot. So if you're a Batman '89 guy, I definitely recommend picking this guy up. It's about 25 bucks where I am. I wouldn't pay much more than that. I mean, 30 like at the absolute max, and then I'd be like, forget it. But really cool, really nice. I've seen people 3D print these, and they look just as good, but it's nice to have a licensed one that does function, just for no other argument. And, of course, you won't get that gold chrome finish on your own. You gotta, the plating is always hard. So I definitely recommend picking up the Bat grapnel launcher from '89 Batman. They also have a batarang, so if you have that, these two would display really nice together on either side of a Keaton mask. So definitely look at that. If you don't have a Keaton mask, hit up Reeves FX or any of those guys who have it. But just the little details like the sight, you can see the scope on the end of it, so you can actually aim. It looks like they really did a great job with this mold and the components of this. So definitely recommend it. '89 Keaton grapnel launcher from Neca. For the price point, it's a 10 out of 10. It's super affordable. For the construction and the build, it's a 10 out of 10 because it absolutely looks the part. It doesn't look cheap. The screws and everything The detail is good. The paint job is good. And in terms of overall wantingness, I mean, it's an 89 Keaton prop. So 10 out of 10. Who doesn't want Batman? That started comic book movies. Who doesn't want something from Batman? Particularly right now with the hype behind Keaton returning to the role 30 years later. So 3 10s all the way around for me on this one. Let's take a look at another item. The next item that we're going to take a look at is Star Wars related, and it is the new Mandalorian Scout Trooper pistol. That's right, the famous EC-17 pistol is now available in Nerf fashion. It is a functional Nerf weapon. It comes in a standard Star Wars packaging. It's a toy, so it looks like a toy. It shows you where you'd store the darts and everything. So we're going to take a look at this. This is going to be way too expensive to ship in a box like this, so I'm going to disassemble this and ship it independently. The person's going to repaint it anyway. And is popularly what is being done with this. So let's take a look at this and see what it does. All right, here's all 3 components of it taken out of the box. First things first, it comes in 2 pieces. So the scope has attachability to the outside of the gun. Line up the pieces and click it in place. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. Screen rant. So now it gives it that classic look. Now, I have a very large hand. This gun is definitely too small for me. I have to actually put my pinky under the thing like this. Now, I do not know if that's accurate or not because I am not 100% up to speed on the EC-17, so I'm not sure if that's the proper way to hold it, but I can tell you that if you're smaller than me, this will work out really well. But like I said, I have a very large hand spread.
Shut up! Oh my God, I don't care!
And so that makes it a little weird for me. Now, something kind of cool, the scope works. So this is actually pretty cool that the scope works. That's different. The arrow loads into the front, and then there's the pull factor. So you pull that out, and it'll lock. Then you push the button. There's 2 holes in the bottom where you can put the extra darts, which you can milliput right over that. Overall, it's a really cool look. Now, there's a ton of writing on this side, which needs to be dealt with. There's a lot of raised incorrect screws, raised lettering, Phillips head screws, which don't exist in Star Wars, more lettering, more logos. To overhaul this into a proper prop is going to be a major undertaking. And to top it all off, you got to milliput these holes, and you actually have to ask yourself whether or not this is sized for you. So this is a big pain in the ass. It's a super huge project. I highly recommend that if you are into redoing this, you're going to put a lot of work in. So in terms of just being a cool little Nerf gun because it's Star Wars, 7 out of 10, usual crap. In terms of being a prop that we can rework for its price point, which is again about $18, super affordable. So, 9 out of 10 on that front. But again, you get what you pay for with that look. What are you guys eating over there? So I really rate the thing like a 7 out of 10. I don't think it's a must-have. But if you want it, go get it. Bat Grapnel, absolute. I think it's a definite pickup. If you're displaying Batman items, pick that sucker up. It's gorgeous. Neca did a great job. If you're looking for the Scout Trooper EC-17 Nerf Blaster, it's a cool pickup. If you're super into it and you have a Scout Trooper costume, like the person who asked me to grab one, then you definitely want one. And it makes sense. If you're just a standard collector, you're probably going to bypass that. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for tuning into my birthday post on my Dune stuff. I will have a Dune mask coming up to review, and I will showcase that and some other cool stuff. And yeah, man, pick your stuff up. Have a good day. And remember, keep building.